The Joe Biden administration are now directly threatening the state of Israel. And in this video, we're going to be exploring all the possibilities when it comes to the backlash and the consequences. Yes, the liberal globalists of the American government are at it again. Joe Biden under a lot of pressure from the Islamic community, from the far left, and from all the other vested interests who are funding certain extremist groups, has now come out to say to Israel that we will be withdrawing our support from you guys if you continue to defend yourself. Now, this is about two issues. One is about the ICJ court case with South Africa, and the other one is about the operation in Rafah, which is going against the actual Islamist leaders in Gaza. Obviously, Biden has now told Israel that you have to report on the law, international law violations, or you will lose our support and aid. Biden has reportedly set a 45-day deadline for Israel to report on potential international law violations in Gaza. While the message is stern, according to Mario Nafal, it stops short of directly accusing Israel of genocide or breaking any laws, but it does threaten to stop aid if the deadline is not met. Isn't it interesting that the liberal globalist warmongers in America still think that they have to police the world? They are the moral gods, and they are the world police. And this is why there's a big problem in the Middle East and everywhere else. On the one hand, they are doing this, and on the other hand, they're making another radical decision, and we're going to explain why it could be. And that's the latest announcement from the armed forces from America under, obviously, the commander-in-chief, Joe Biden. They've now come out to say that they are going to be withdrawing the troops from the Middle East in general. That's Iraq and Syria. They're going to be doing another Afghanistan. Now, usually that's welcoming news. Okay, it's going to be interesting. They're not going to be doing any more interventions, right? But why is that happening? Why is it happening now? And this is where you have to ask certain questions, because these people are control freaks. If they are withdrawing from the Middle East, it's not because they suddenly became isolationists. It's not suddenly because they say, yeah, it's none of our business to be there. There's so much happening behind the scenes. For example, one possibility could be the relationship with Russia. Considering that we are getting potentially closer to any sort of negotiations or peace talks between Russia and Ukraine, this could be a bit of a gesture to the Russians and the Iranians who are controlling the region, as well as the Americans, saying, okay, well, if we do this, maybe we could actually then go to Kremlin and say, okay, we've done what you wanted. We've left the Middle East. Now you're in charge of the Middle East, and Russians will be taking over, as they are already slowly. But let's talk about Ukraine. That could be one possibility. There's another issue, and that's the fear of backlash in America and in the Western world. As mass migration continues and multiculturalism continues, we have more Islamic communities and Islamists, actual extremists on our streets. And there could be a fear of what could happen on our soils, both in America, in Britain, and everywhere else. That could be also a possibility. Or the third scenario is that they have another big plan. And again, the incompetence of the Joe Biden administration, we already seen a number of examples, including the fall of Afghanistan. If you are going to be doing withdrawal, which a lot of people want to at this point, but you do it in a pragmatic way. And that's what Donald Trump has been saying about Afghanistan. If you're going to be doing it, do it in a pragmatic way. Do not create a vacuum again. But now we have to see, because everyone says, well, it's none of your business to be, for example, in parts of Syria or in Iraq. Iraq has been taken over by Iran anyway, and the Russians are there. But if we withdraw, what will happen to the world order, to the actual stability of the system? Now, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.